Today we're going to talk about an essential tool for onboarding a new employee at your company, the Employee Handbook. With all the meetings, introductions, and paperwork involved in employee orientation, it might be tempting to give the Employee Handbook short shrift, but don't do it. The Employee Handbook is one of your first official communications to your new employee, and it should be up to date, detailed, and well written. In fact, your Employee Handbook is the single most important internal document for communicating policies, practices, and employee benefits. It sets forth your expectations for your employees and outlines what they, in turn, can expect from your organization. While the policies outlined in your handbook will reflect your company's own unique culture, these policies also must be drafted in adherence to federal, state, and local laws and regulations. You may even find you need more than one edition of your official handbook. For example, one for exempt employees and another for non-exempt, or for union employees and non-union employees. In any instance, there are a number of key elements to be included in an employee handbook. After a welcome and introduction from your president or CEO, begin with general employment information. Provide an overview of your business and lay out basic policies relating to employment eligibility, job classifications, employee records, job postings, termination and resignation procedures, and, if applicable, union information. Next, address your company's anti-discrimination policies. Depending on the size of the company, employers must comply with a number of different federal and state equal employment opportunity laws prohibiting discrimination. Outline them here and set out a statement of your official compliance. This section is also a good place to set out your sexual harassment and any affirmative action policies. Your handbook should also cover compensation and work schedules. With respect to compensation, include information on federal and state tax deductions as well as voluntary deductions for benefits. Also explain pay schedules, timekeeping policies, and topics such as performance reviews, raises, and bonuses. You should also clearly state your company's regular work hours and schedules and your policy on attendance, punctuality, and reporting absences. If telecommuting or flex hours are an option, cover those here as well. Standards of conduct is one of the most important sections in your handbook. Make sure you document how you expect employees to conduct themselves in the workplace, from dress code to ethics. Remind employees of any legal obligations that they may need to comply with, such as protecting sensitive customer data, and describe your standards related to employee discipline, including any progressive discipline policy. Our discussion of conduct and employee expectations leads to our next topic: workplace safety and security. Creating a safe and secure workplace requires cooperation and partnership between a company and its employees. And it's a topic that should be addressed in the handbook so all parties are fully informed. Describe your policy for maintaining a safe workplace, including compliance with OSHA laws that require employees to report accidents, injuries, and potential safety hazards to management. Outline your policy for bad weather or hazardous conditions, and reinforce your commitment to a safe and secure work environment. Tell employees what they need to do to keep the workplace secure, such as locking files and computers when not in use. That brings us to our next important topic: computers and technology. While computers and technology are essential tools for conducting business, employee misuse can lead to serious consequences. On almost a weekly basis, digital theft or data breach makes national news, potentially damaging the reputation and finances of both the company in question and its customers. You want to avoid this at all costs. That's why your handbook must outline clear policies for appropriate computer and software use, as well as steps employees should take to secure electronic information, especially if that includes personal identifiable information that you collect from your customers or clients. You should also explain your rules for personal use of company technology, along with your social media policy if applicable. Employee benefits and leave are two of the areas where your company policies may be subject to various federal and state laws and regulations. Your handbook should include details on your company's benefits program, including all benefits that may be required by law, such as workers' compensation, disability insurance, and COBRA, if applicable. If this information is extensive, you may wish to list it in an appendix or separate booklet. While health insurance will likely require separate legal documents such as a summary plan description, you should also explain your health insurance options and programs for retirement savings, tuition reimbursement, business travel, employee assistance, and any other fringe benefits you provide to attract and retain employees. Certain types of employee leave are also subject to state and federal law. They may include family medical leave, leave for jury duty, military leave, or time off for voting, all of which should be explained and documented in compliance with the applicable law. You should also explain your policies regarding vacation and holiday pay, personal time, bereavement time, and sick leave. Be sure to include any other essential provisions in your handbook that employees need to know about. For example, if your employees are employed at will, meaning that either the employer or employee can terminate the employment relationship at any time, you should clearly state that fact and include a conspicuous disclaimer in the front of the handbook that specifically states that the handbook is not an employment contract and should not be construed as a contract. Finally, be sure to include a written acknowledgement by the employee that he or she has received and read the handbook, and to be signed and placed in the employee's personnel file. As we mentioned in part 1 of this video, your employee handbook is one of the first and most critical pieces of communication given to new employees. It should be kept up to date and outline your compliance with a number of federal and state laws. And at the same time, the handbook is also a reflection of your company's expectations, corporate culture, policy, and benefit programs. And as such, it's worth your time and attention. As always, it's wise to consult a reliable employment law attorney for a final review of any written communication before it's provided to employees.